Sanchez, who is, let's go to our international correspondent, Raf Sanchez, who is in Doha, Qatar. Raf, we have been hearing a lot of reporting from Iran state media throughout the morning here. Wanted to wait till we got more official word from those U.S. officials before coming on the air with this new information. But what have we been hearing out of Iran today?
So, Joe, we have been hearing from authorities in Iran that this American warplane went down in an area of the south of the country. This is a mountainous region. It is a tribal region. A lot of the population there are made up of nomadic tribes and And authorities in those provinces are saying that they are putting out a reward for anyone who is able to capture this aircrew. They do not seem to know at this point whether these pilots are alive or not, but they are saying it is a priority for them to be taken into custody in Iran. They're offering a reward the equivalent of $60,000, and they are saying capturing them alive is the priority. Now, Joe, if it is confirmed that this aircraft was indeed shot down, that would be the first confirmed downing of an American aircraft by hostile fire during this war. You will remember about 3 weeks ago, a refueling plane collided with another aircraft over Iraq. It crashed. 6 service members were killed there. And then in the early days of the war, 3 F-15s were shot down over Kuwait. That was a friendly fire incident. Those were American aircraft shot down by the Kuwaiti Air Force. Iranian state media does seem to be reporting that some kind of rescue operation is underway. We are seeing videos out of southern Iran of what appear to be American helicopters flying low over the valleys in this mountainous region. But again, authorities in Iran are urging people in that area to try to find and capture this American aircrew, and they are offering a reward for anyone who's able to do so.
Courtney, I understand that you have new reports.
Sure.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, Shalom. Like to start up by saying, Call Halayim Le Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Harakah Kwadash Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles of the Great Millstone, double honors to our elder apostles as well. I heard one by Yashar down here in the Lions Den camp. Salutations to the argument that are pushing the truth, sincerity, and truth. And peace and blessing to the men and women and children that believe in the name Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, I'm Khanak by Yashar from the Lions in the Yashar camp. This is another Lions Den news and prophecy. And here we go. It says, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. See that? This is a heavy hitter right here, man. It says, one crew member rescued after the U.S. F-15 shot down over Iran while search continues for other pilot. All right? So, man, listen, they ain't playing. They ain't playing. I seen another article that said a second one was shot down, but I don't know how true that one is. I'm gonna let that play out a little bit. But according to this, and they're giving out, as you see it in the video, they're giving out a reward for those that can capture those remaining pilots. I don't know if any of you guys seen this movie. It's a movie called Black Hawk Down, and they were over there in Somalia somewhere dealing with the rebels over there. Talking about they bringing peace, and they had something they had shot down one of the Black Hawk helicopters and captured one of the pilots out there. So now what does this do? What does this do? Now, if that search crew that they're doing flying helicopters all over trying to find them can't find them, they're going to be forced to send a special unit, ground force, a rescue unit in there to gather them. Like if you watch that movie Black Hawk Down, as they're heading to the evacuation rendezvous point, they say, hey, a Black Hawk was shut down. It changes the whole mission. The war has told, with that happening right there. Now, it'd have been different if it was just blown out of smithereens and there was no way that they could have survived the hit. But the fact that they might have survived that makes the whole thing different, because they're going to have to send ground troops in there to retrieve those soldiers. And if they don't make some type of, or they're going to have to fake like they did, because if they, that's going, man, his approval rating on DJ Neuro 47's approval rating is already low because of this war. And if you have POWs that you don't attempt to go get, now this is what Iran can bring to the negotiating table. See that he said, make sure you capture them alive. They want them to be alive. Guarantee they will unalive those individuals on some type of mainstream platform for the whole world to see, just like how the United States did with Saddam Hussein. It's a totally different game changer right here, man. All right, so let's read a little bit of this article. It says one crew member has been rescued, and the search continues for the second pilot after a U.S. F-15 fighter was shut down over Iran. It says the first aircraft down in the Iranian territory since the war began 5 weeks ago. And what did Trump say? Allegedly, it's going to be over in 2 weeks. All right, it says the jet flown by a two-member crew was shot down by Iranian forces around 6:45 a.m. Eastern Friday, and a rescue mission was quickly launched. One of the pilots, who had ejected before the aircraft went down, was rescued by U.S. forces. 2 U.S. officials have told CBS News. The pilot is alive and receiving medical attention. Oh, there's another one. Okay. It says the pilot is alive and receiving medical attention, the official said. U.S. forces are racing to recover the second pilot and weapons systems officer before Iranian forces can reach them. Israel is helping the United States with the search and rescue operation. This is a totally different ball game now. It says Iranian news anchor has urged residents to hand over any enemy pilot to the police and promised a reward for anyone who did. An on-screen TV crawl earlier urged the public to shoot them if you see them, referring to the social media footage circulating of what appeared to be the U.S. aircraft in the area. It says President Donald Trump told the Independent on Friday afternoon that he didn't know what he would do if the pilot was harmed by the Iranians. Well, I can't comment on it because we hope that's not going to happen, and ended the call shortly. Yeah. See, this puts a different type of pressure on him. This puts a whole totally different type of pressure on him. So also on Friday, Iran's air defense system targeted an enemy A-10 aircraft in southern waters near the Hormuz Strait. The nation's state media said on Friday. The New York Times reported earlier in the day that a second U.S. Air Force combat plane had crashed into the Gulf region on Friday, and it's hours after Trump was briefed on the crash of the F-15. The president made no mention of the incident as he took to social, writing, "Keep the oil, anyone." What? That's what you say you got? This dude crazy. It says, but when asked about it during a brief interview with NBC News, Trump said that the downing of the U.S. fighter jet would not affect any negotiations with Iran. So you say. So it's forget them, huh? So you won't negotiate for them? No, not at all. No, it's war. We're in war, he said on the call. Mm, man, we're in war is his response. What about those pilots' family that you got them out here fighting? You know what I'm saying? See that? That's smooth talking, but this is really his agenda, man. It's war. This is really the agenda. Straight up war, nothing else. It says as the search for the F-15 jet's missing crews continues, Iranian state-linked media outlets report that the helicopters were deployed to find the missing U.S. military members, though there were conflicting accounts about their origin. The Fars news agency said it was unclear who operated the aircraft, while so they might not even be doing a search party. It says while Tasnim reported they were American and claimed at least one helicopter was forced to retreat after coming under fire. Tasnim also said a U.S. C-130 Hercules aircraft was involved in the operation. Mizan, an outlet affiliated with Iran's judiciary, reported that an American rescue mission was active and published images it claimed showed U.S. aircraft in Iranian airspace. It said Iranian officials called on civilians to be on lookout for survivors, according to Reuters. Right, man. Like going back to that movie Black Hawk Down, when they were able to, when the second one went down, they had they had kids, man, running up on them, beating their ass. But then the dude that was the head of the militia, he came in and fired a gun in the air like, nah, we taking him alive. That's negotiation, baby. I don't care what Trump want to say. You know what I'm saying? They gonna use that as leverage. Mm, it's a game changer right here, man. It says the governor of Iran's Qalqiya and Boyer Ahmad province said whoever captured or killed the crew would be specifically commended, according to the semi-official Iranian news agency. The incident could represent a significant political complication for Trump, see that? Who suggests in a primetime address to the nation this week that the war was ending and the Iran's military capability had been all but destroyed. He nevertheless said the U.S.-Israel bombardment would continue for 2 or 3 weeks. That don't sound like defeat to me. It sounds like they're trying to make you say uncle. Shortly before the jet was shot down on Friday, Trump posted on Truth Social, with a little more time, we can easily open the Hormuz Strait, take the oil, and make a fortune. It would be a gusher for the world. Mm, yeah, but the Most High had other different plans coming. Because Iranians attacked on Gulf energy infrastructure and its tight grip on the Strait of Hormuz, through which a fifth of the world's oil and natural gases transit in prime peacetime, have roiled stock markets and sent oil prices skyrocketing and threatened to rise the cost of many basic goods, including food. Last lesson I did was going into like, this is going to cause a famine. See that? It said Trump has threatened further escalations, warning of potential strikes on Iran's energy grid, and the strait is not reopened. If the strait is not reopened, Iranian officials have rejected negotiations under current conditions. They ain't negotiating nothing. They like bring it. It says bridges next. The then electric power plants. He wrote on social media late Thursday. New regime leadership knows what has to be done and it has to be done fast, right? That's crazy because What kind of president is thumb thugging, putting it out? Oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Man, you trying to bluff people. You trying to be a bully, and those bully tactics ain't working, man. It says Friday Trump celebrated the bombing of an Iranian bridge as he warned on social media that there was much more to follow. Footage showed the moment the B-1 bridge in Karaj, west of Tehran, was cut in half by the strikes on Thursday. The attack killed 8 people and wounded 95, Iranian news media reported. It says today's incident is the first U.S. or Israeli jet to have been shot down over the Iran since the war started. 3 U.S. F-15E Strike Eagle jets were downed by friendly fire over Kuwait in March. None of the aircrews were injured. More than 1,900 people have been unalived in Iran since the war began on 28th of February, which the United States and Israel strikes, the Associated Press reported. In a review released Friday, the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data, a U.S.-based group, said it found that civilian casualties were clustered around strikes on security and state-linked sites, rather than indiscriminate bombardment of urban areas. It says more than 24 people have died in Gulf states and the occupied West Bank. 19 have been reported dead in Israel, and 13 U.S. service members have been killed. More than 1,300 people have been killed, and more than 1 million displaced in Lebanon. Damn. 10 Israeli soldiers have also died there. Man, listen, those numbers are going to go up, man. And thus saith Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, this is Joel 2:20. We keep bringing it out over and over. It says, but I will remove far off from you the northern army, and will drive them to a land barren and desolate. That's going towards going towards Iran, with his face towards the east sea, and his hinder part towards the utmost sea. And his stink shall come up, and his savor shall come up, because he had done great things. See that? And this is all being done by Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Said his stink shall come up. Meaning that's gonna be that's dead bodies, unalive bodies. Man. So there you have it, man. There you have it. This changes the whole demographic of the war, man. Why they come down the street with these kids like people, man? Jake always got to show out, man. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. Lord willing, this lesson edify the servant's purpose for the hope of elect, the ones that truly believe in the name of Yahweh Shema Shai. With that, like say, call Halayim, La Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Harakak Wadash, my month. Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, double honors to our elder apostle as well, the one Banyash, all down in the lines and camp. Salutation to the Akim that are pushing the truth, sincerity and truth, and peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Shema Shai. Shalom.